Good evening, everyone. How you doing out there? Welcome to the show. This is the Lieutenant Colonel Smash Show. We are running a podcast every 2 weeks, every month, and we are talking the latest information in news and gaming industry and around streaming. So if you're interested in gaming and you're interested in streaming and you want to know what the latest news is, some of the latest tricks and tips around the industry, come join the channel. All right, today, let's see. Ooh, my camera's a little zoomed in today. Let's figure out why. For some reason, my camera is zoomed. Let's go find out why real quick. There we go. That's the look right there. All right, well, how is everyone doing tonight? As you know, we have the topics up there at the top of the screen. We have Sony buys Bungie, big news of the week. Next, we have Apex changes coming. Apex Season 12 is coming next week. We have some changes coming to Apex. We have a special guest on with us today, Tui_AM. Tui_AM is going to be joining us, talking to us about the latest news and updates coming to Apex. Next, we have esports. Is esports bad for the gaming industry? I look a lot warmer today. Yes, I look a lot warmer this afternoon, Triz. Hey, thanks for joining me this morning, Triz. I hope you enjoyed the snow plowing this morning. Let's see. The final topic for this the stream today is games to play on stream. What should you be playing to either grow or engage with your community? Games that I highly recommend, and some tips and tricks when choosing a game. Well, we're gonna dial this down just a little bit here. We are not going to be running the music all night, so let's go ahead and give that a cancel here real quick. All right, well, let's start out. Tui, good afternoon, good evening. It's evening for you. Good evening. Welcome into the show. Tui will be joining us, by the way, when we discuss our Apex changes topics. Yeah, he has a handful of them. And we have some notes here about the Apex updates, and we'll be showing some interesting videos. Well, let's start off with Sony buys Bungie. Okay, so why is this relevant? Well, as you know, a couple weeks ago, Microsoft, big news in the gaming industry was Microsoft bought Activision and Blizzard, right? And that was a huge, I mean, that was a massive portfolio increase for Xbox and for Microsoft, and that really pushed them into some really interesting realms. We talked about that last stream and opened up some of their IPs that were available to them, and also got them into some companies that are doing some really interesting things in metaverse technology, that virtual reality like interaction platforms. Well, so Sony is trying to answer, I think, here with a move, a $3 billion move, which is going to be really $3.6 billion actually to be exact, acquisition of Bungie. So welcome in, Steel. We are talking right now Sony buying Bungie. So while this is a big news, this is the third large acquisition this year, and we're just in the first week of February. So consoles, Sony and Xbox, Microsoft and Sony are making some huge moves in the gaming industry. Excluding their existing systems, right? Their ecosystems. You know, Microsoft has a huge, obviously, computing platform, right? With its Windows. Sony has its movie deals, things of that nature, which we'll talk about in this acquisition, which is really interesting. I think this is where Sony actually might be trying to make some moves here. But at any rate, Bungie, why this is and is not a story is, while Bungie is, yes, the creator of Halo and has a handful of other games, and Bungie buys it. Bungie put Xbox on the map with Halo, right? So you think Sony buying Bungie would be, hey, we are going to stick it to Microsoft. Well, guess what? They did not get Halo in the deal as an exclusive. Not one bit. Yes, Bungie owned Halo. It created Halo, right? and really, honestly, it's really interesting how I can't come up with a better word for this, but the word is in the gaming industry has become kind of, man, it's kind of a negative word, incestuous. I don't know what a better word is. The gaming industry has become this just kind of circular flow of money. Okay, buying the same talent, and the talent keeps swapping around to different groups, right? Just Xbox Game Studio now. Halo, you think Halo is just Xbox Game Studio? Well, are they still not under the Halo umbrella? Well, I'll have to look into that, because I thought it was still technically a Bungie product, but you might be right. Maybe one of the reasons why people are a little upset that the Halo franchise has kind of taken a dip recently, but we're going to talk about some of the AAA games taking a dip later in the show when we start talking about is esports bad. But so one of the things that Bungie maintains that it is an independent company under the umbrella of Sony. And what that also allows Bungie to do in their press releases, they will continue to make their games cross-platform. Which means Sony is the king of exclusive content, right? That is their bread and butter. We only make this product. If you want to play this game, you have to come to Sony. Well, they just made an acquisition of a company that does not want to do that does not want to make exclusive content, and it's in their contract of the freedom to do so as they wish, which is, again, they want to make more cross-platform content. So in a latest released by Jim Ryan, CEO, he identifies that, he talks about Bungie, but what they really wanted to talk about was acquiring talent. There is a really interesting platform and technology that might be able to get Sony into a more ripe position for virtual reality, and they think that talent lies in Bungie, and Bungie did that as well. They're really talking about the gamer experience between the two of them. So maybe Sony is trying to get away from the exclusive content situation and more into the VR, really enhancing that. They think maybe some of the industry for gaming is saturated in other areas where they're trying to compete, but where is it unsaturated? Obviously people are trying to do VR stuff, but really, has VR really become mainstream? No, the answer is no. A couple of people have an Oculus and things like that, and they're playing the same games over and over again, but the content really isn't there. But if you bring Bungie into that mix and you take Sony's leverage of their technology, maybe you have a good combination mix to really jump into the VR. And maybe Sony says, heck with it, have Activision, have some of the Crash Bandicoot, which was our old mascot, right? Have those, because we are going to move into VR. We're not even going to be competing against your basic games, Microsoft. So I think that is an interesting take on this. Blizzard had a contract with Sony that's now owned by Microsoft. Okay. Yeah. So, the other possible thing is, I think Sony wants to get away from just the console wars, right? And this is Sony exclusive from Sony Studios and things like that. This is just Sony Gaming, this branch of their multifaceted company, their gaming industry. I think they want to push into PC. And I think Bungie being cross-platform, a lot of cross-platform development and their ecosystem, I think, and some of their creative devs, I think they want to push into PC. I think what you're going to see is what Xbox has really been trying to do with Xbox Game Pass and Xbox app and things like that. I think Sony is going to try to take some of their exclusive content, push it into Bungie's already existing ecosystem technology, this cross-platform system, and take things like Ghost of Tsushima and some of the other Uncharted and all the rest of these games, and move these into the PC platform where you can play them on PC. I truly think that's where their push is, plus the VR thing, and not to mention, well, let's change gears here real quick. Movies. Sony has a huge movie industry. They have movie contracts. Think about all the games and IPs that they just acquired from Bungie. Think about the IPs and the universes that they just acquired. Okay, and King Iden, thank you for the 16 months, friend. Come on in. Hey, we are talking Sony buying Bungie right now, and we are talking specifically right now that Sony has a studio, right, where they make TV and movies. And one of the big things I think that they want to do is they want some of the IPs that Bungie has, because look what they're already doing, right? This coming year, Last of Us will come out on HBO. Uncharted is releasing in theaters soon, okay? These are typically PlayStation exclusives owned by Sony. Some of the other Bungie systems that maybe they want, even though it's not going to be exclusive, I believe they do have access now to the Halo universe or rights to use the Halo universe. It's possible. I'll have to double check this. I thought I checked this, so let's put this out there in the pencil in category. I believe I confirmed this, that they do have some rights to while they don't have exclusive rights to Halo, I think they have some rights to some of the Halo storylines and some of the Halo universe and characters. And what that does is that allows them to maybe utilize that game content, put it into their movie making, under their movie making label Sony, and make movies based upon those characters and those universes. I think that's where a lot of things are gonna happen here soon. So Sony is making a push, and we're seeing the surface level. We're seeing the scratching surface level of it being the gaming industry, but I think Sony is going to be pushing into the PC realm, again, the gaming, but I think they're really going to be taking some of that content from Bungie, and I think they're going to be pushing it over into their movie television label and really going there. Again, Last of Us is a prime example, going to be out in HBO this year, I believe. Uncharted coming out with Tom Holland, Uncharted coming out in theaters, and I can think they're going to take other games and really push those out. Let's not forget, though, what's really interesting about this, and we just mentioned this earlier, and that was Bungie obviously was part of Xbox, I think 2009, since 2009. Oh gosh, no, it was before that, because Halo, what year was that? 2000, was that 2001? I can't. So what was interesting, like I said, Bungie put Xbox on the map for gaming, and then shortly after there, when they came out with Halo's online services, online subscription, that again thrust Xbox into from nothing. Microsoft from this, you can't compete against Nintendo and Sony into, you are a competitive system, right? Bungie did that. I think Bungie has that same creative talent to take Sony and push them another step further, not just in gaming, but maybe also to be used across Sony, all of Sony's facets of their industry. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. See what you think about of some of the discussions about Sony buying Bungie. The next thing we have today is we are actually, so anyway, please head over to Discord, give me some notes, let me know what you think about the Sony Bungie acquisition, and we'll be talking about that more coming up, and we'll keep an eye on that. Next up, we actually have a guest. We're going to be talking about Apex changes. Let's see if our guest is ready this evening. We will wait for our guest. Waiting for 2 a.m. Hopefully he'll be joining us this after for the next topic here on Apex changes. While we're doing that, let's go ahead, and I do have some content that I would like to show you here. Yeah, not a problem, Tui. Take your time. I actually want to show the Apex Season 12 trailer. So last week I showed you that Tilted Towers was back to Fortnite. I like to keep you up to date on the latest changes of some of the really popular multiplayer competitive gaming scene. Well, let's check out here real quick. Let's check out the trailer for Season 12 Apex.
A cutthroat warlord and self-proclaimed freedom fighter, Mad Maggie's punishment for her vicious attacks across the Outlands has landed her in the Apex games.
Syndicate's gonna regret letting Mad Maggie off her leash.
Now, will she face justice, or will Maggie turn the tables on her would-be executioners?
You know what they say? Mess with the bull and I'll trample you to death.
When there's blood in the water, Maggie will sense it. She's able to track down those she's hurt to finish the job.
Salvo says kia ora, by the way.
And don't bother trying to run. Maggie moves faster when carrying a shotgun, allowing her to close the distance on any fleeing opponents.
What are you legends made of? Emotions?
Those who try to hide behind cover will soon discover nowhere is safe. Maggie's riot drill allows her to burn out her enemies.
Killing and drilling.
But nothing embodies Maggie's love of wanton destruction like her ultimate.
Get the hell out of her way.
A powerful wrecking ball that leaves death and speed boosts in its wake.
One day Salvo will be free, and the next day, the Syndicate will be dead.
Be wary, Legends. The most feared villain in the Outlands is at your door. You must band together to control this madness, or she's sure to bring the games down around her. The Apex Games, brought to you by the Syndicate and Silva Pharmaceuticals.
All right, there's the trailer for season 12. With us today to talk about this trailer as well as all the other updates we have with us, Tui AM. Welcome to the channel. Let me bring you up here to the channel here and bring you full screen here, buddy. Don't know if you have a webcam today, buddy. Tui, are you with us? Let me see if you're...
I'm here.
There he is. All right. All right, let me bump your volume up just a tad bit here real quick.
No worries.
All right. Can everyone hear him okay? Yep, I think you're good. So, all right. So you were telling me about some of the changes in coming to Apex Season 12. We just showed the trailer that featured Mad Maggie, and most notably, I mean, obviously everyone's talking about that, and everyone's talking about Olympus, which Olympus is going to be changed, but give us your thoughts on Mad Maggie and what you know about her so far.
On Mad Maggie? So what I know so far is that she has her tactical ability, which looks like a gun. She can shoot at like doors, walls, basically effective against Rampart that is almost like a thermite that shoots through on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So she's supposedly really effective against defensive characters. She has a boost to shotgun damage, and her ultimate looks like a ball that is one shot that she throws out.
Yeah, it's a wrecking ball. Yeah.
Wrecking ball, yeah.
And there's some...
And I guess
a lot of...
It breaks off, yeah.
Yeah, it does a little bit of damage, and we don't know how much damage it's going to do yet. We don't know the particulars, but we do know that it obviously does damage in a path, in a direct line. And it actually puts down, as it lays things in the ground, speed boost for you and your squad. It's a boosting feature. So she's more of an assaulting character, which is really interesting. We thought they were going to bring more support characters to Apex, which I think that truly needs. I think they need some more support characters.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, I thought Maggie was... I think she'll be fun to play. But I think it's definitely turning the game more towards an offensive play style, because there's a lot of offensive characters already.
Yeah. Certainly, Apex is an up in your face close style combat game, and I think they're playing on that more. Do we know yet if her tactical ability, which we talked about, is the drill, right? That thing she shoots out and it does bores through walls and does a little damage. Do we know if it'll go? Is it just through walls and barriers, or will it also go through like land obstacles, whether it be like a rock or anything like that?
I don't know about land obstacles, and to be fair, I'm not even sure if it will go through a building wall. I do know that it goes through like barriers, like Rampart barriers and doors. I imagine if somebody is in a building and you shoot it at a wall, it should go through. But I mean, I guess we'll see.
It's going to be with as many bugs as they often have, and they pull weapons, or they pull skins because they have exploits or something like that. This one having a little bit more interaction with other people's abilities. We talked about Rampart, the defenses and things like that. Oh, I wonder if it would be Gibby's shield as well. Be very, very interesting. I wonder when you start having abilities interact with other people's abilities, or even let's say walls and doors, you really start getting into a mess of programming, from my experience.
And my question also was with her ultimate, with that ball that she kind of throws out there, like, is that going to go through Gibby's shield? Is that a possible counter to Gibby's shield? What is it going to do to Rampart's stuff? I mean,
yeah, well, certainly this season, Gibby in the professional scene has been OP.
Yeah, and no nerfs.
No
Nerfs are expected.
Yeah, no nerfs are expected. So are they expecting to, instead of nerf Gibby, are they expecting maybe to just come up with counters to Gibby?
Come up with a counter, yeah. It's bizarre. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I gotta imagine there's going to be some mid-season changes, very likely. Most definitely to Mad Maggie, and then as they see the game style change, then I think they'll have to have some mid-season legend balances. I'm hoping.
Right. And,
but
I mean, there's a couple changes to the current legends.
Yeah. What were those?
And that's Caustic, whose traps will now be able to be shot out after they go out, as well as Crypto, who supposedly within a close proximity, his drone is just going to, head out on its own, and then he can take over anytime he wants, just like before. It'll be interesting to see if, like, he has to be manning it to use his ultimate, or I would imagine it'll be, it can explore on its own. It'll be able to use his ultimate, so. He may be a viable option in rank too, because you get KP for assists with him. And if you don't have to man the drone, then
just putting it in the air. Yeah. So you can't control it, right? You put it into a particular space you want to have monitored, and then you play. And then if you want to move it again, you remote into it, I think is what I'm hearing.
Is now. Oh, that's what you're hearing? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that it was gonna. Hi, chicken nugget. Oh my gosh. One of them came. But yeah, no, what I read was that it'll move around in a close proximity, so that it doesn't have to be, that it doesn't have to be like manned. If he wants to take it further out, then.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll move around on its own.
Oh, that's very interesting. I wonder what kind of pattern that's going to use, and man.
Yeah.
Ooh, or if it's just gonna circle him or something like that, and just stay in a proximity, kind of like a. Right. There's some drones, by the way, that I know people use when they go, whether it be skiing or something like that, or snowboarding, and they'll have a thing on their pocket that basically the thing will follow you down the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. To me, if that's the way it's gonna work, I see a lot of bugs.
There's also some ideas of changes coming to Caustic too. Is that right?
Yeah. So his was the gas traps, which this one to me was a bit extreme, but supposedly you're going to be able to shoot out the gas traps after they go off, which for Caustic that was a huge advantage. Was you can throw down a trap and shoot it, and you've got a entire doorway blocked off. You can hit a res. Well, now let's say you got a teammate in the corner, you throw down a trap and shoot it to hit a res on a teammate. Well, they can just shoot it out, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to completely expose you. So it's a bit of an extreme nerf, especially after his damage just got nerfed with the gas traps. Well,
yeah, damage got nerfed, and it didn't affect the vision of enemies as much anymore either. So I'm not really certain why they keep nerfing Caustic. I'm not a Caustic main, but as you know, I like to play him recently anyway. He is an excellent character that tones down that really aggressive play style.
Yeah.
And maybe pros are complaining. I see this a lot in other games. And I'm going to use Ninja because I love using that guy as like my whipping boy, I guess, if you will. There's no better term. Just because he's such an easy target. But thank you for the sub, Steel Rat. Thank you for 13 months, my friend. He often would complain, and several other pros would complain that Fortnite, they wanted Fortnite to change what they would do. And guess what? Epic would answer. They would change Fortnite to accommodate the pros. If the pros are unhappy with the fact that they can't push a certain area of the map or they can't push a certain legend because it changes their play style, is this is this Apex's answer for Respawn's answer for like, okay, let's listen to the pros and give them what they want?
Right. Which I feel like they generally do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I still think it's a bit extreme. And I'm upset. One of my, I play with Eric a lot, and he uses caustic.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of our strong points. But
well, so there's some things that we don't quite know yet, but we've heard rumors again, the crypto rumors, the caustic rumors. We'll see the details. I think those are more than rumors. I think those are happening.
yeah.
I think there might be some Gibby changes. I think those are more rumored. But tell me about a couple things. We have Olympus map is changing. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. I think what I saw was the map actually, I don't know if it's the entire map or if it's just the specific area, but I guess you saw those glowing objects in the trailer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I guess that those move. They move around. Because in the trailer it said moving objects to change cover, and I don't know. We'll see.
They're taking a book.
Looks interesting.
They're taking a book out of Fortnite when they had the moving blocks. You remember that?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It seems like every time I make fun of Fortnite, everyone seems to copy them. They're like, "That's a creative idea. Let's take that idea." Yeah. And also, and this happens every season, so this is nothing new. But rumors that we've heard about the weaponry changes, things going into the care packages and whatnot.
Yes. So no new weapons. Alternators coming out, and the Volt is going in the care package.
Oh, it's such a love-hate right there, because I do love the alternator, but I love the Volt.
Yes, and no. The Flatline and Longbow are going in the replicator.
Flatline and the Longbow are they going to the replicator? Okay.
So you'll be able to craft those now. And then I think the new hop-up is, I can't remember what the new hop-up is, but I know that the hammer points can now go on the RE45.
The RE.
I saw a clip of it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a clip of it, and it looks...
Let me see if
looks like Disruptor around Alternator.
I'm looking that up right now to see if I can pull that up. Ooh, RE45 with hammer points. Let me bring that up real quick. Let's bring this up on the desktop and give people a quick...
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason my screen is behind. Let me do this real quick. Some reason. There we go. Okay. Now we have everything. All right, so let's show this. Yay, an ad. All right. So this is the RE45 with hammer points, apparently. Good God Almighty.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. I laughed when I saw it because I was like, that's not gonna last.
This is the most... Oh my goodness, 27 hit, 40 headshot.
27 hit, 40 headshot. I hope that this is like... I hope they've already changed this before the launch, because it's...
Why would you ever pick up the Havoc or the...
Yeah. It reminds me of the Disruptor Alternator.
Oh my gosh. Better. Rabbit, yeah, look, I have to tease Fortnite just because Fortnite is such an... Epic is so easy to make fun of because I feel like their developers, they just throw things at the wall. They have like a big dartboard with just random words on there. And I think they just like turn their back and they throw a dart over their shoulder and see what it hits. And like, let's put that in the game.
Let's put that one in there.
So, I mean, they've obviously been creative for 4 years now, but and everyone tries to copy them.
Yeah.
But so, okay, so we have the...
It's funny how all of these battle royals just kind of steal off of each other, because they're also doing the prestige skins now.
Mhm.
So like the evolving Fortnite skins, so they get higher and higher tiers.
That's
Um,
the
First one is Bloodhound, and I think they're doing it kind of like the each weapon for each season gets a special skin. I
Mhm.
think they're doing that for Legends now in this next battle pass. So
my goodness. Okay, and that's gonna be in the battle pass, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about that part in our next topic, which is esports. Is it good or bad for gaming? Finally, on Apex,
Mhm.
the new 9v9 game modes
Yes.
that I'm super excited for.
Yes. I'll be playing that day one.
Like, and I
Oh my
think
gosh.
if I'm understanding correctly, you'll be able to create custom games. You'll be able to have 18 of your own friends in a custom server.
Oh really?
Now that's what I heard, and that was what I heard today.
Okay.
So that was, again, that's anecdotal. I have to go find the YouTube channel that I heard that information off of and confirm it myself. But obviously,
Yeah.
time will, when season 12 comes out, that'll be the definitive answer. But my understanding is these 9v9s customs, from like capture points and things like that, they're going to be thrown in there. And with
That is gonna be it's a lot of fun.
with respawn ability, right? We've never had, obviously Halo is a they have game modes where capture the flag, you die, you respawn, but we've never had that in Apex, any type of respawn ability. Heck, even the 3v3 arenas, you're dead.
Yeah.
To restart the round.
I mean, it is going to be a limited time mode, right? It's only going to be for 3 weeks, but I'm wondering if they're just kind of using it as a test run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did limited time mode with solos, and it never got added to the game. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, if it goes well, hopefully they'll add it to the game just to diversify it a little bit.
Yeah, I'd really like them to open it up.
Yeah, what they have is really cool. With how much character the Legends have and all of their abilities, it'd be really cool to see some more modes.
Yeah,
for players to use them.
It might be kind of a cluster for a little while. I see two things converging. Well, one, the reason why I'm starting to play more Halo is because I can play with my friends. Regardless of your skill level, you can jump in there. If you're lower on the kill list or lower on the point list, the scoreboard, it's not a big deal because you still get to play with your friends, right? The respawn, what do? You died. So you died a few more times than your friends, but you still got to play with each other. But this is a game that is very high skill gap, right? And you've incorporated abilities like League of Legends. If you ever played League of Legends, they had a mode for a while that was called Rapid Fire, where basically everyone got to use their abilities super, super fast.
Right.
And it just made the game, it was fun for people that are casual, but it almost made the game for people that were really good at it unplayable.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see if that attracts people with having 9v9 with all those abilities all going off in the server at once.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like you could have 3 Pathfinders on a team, or, we were wondering if everybody just got free for all. You can choose your own legend. You're gonna see like 9 Seers in there where everybody's using their tactical ability or something.
All wraiths. Everyone is just there's portals everywhere.
Exactly. We're like, how's this gonna work?
Oh my gosh, that'd be like playing Splitgate. Just there's portals everywhere. Holy cow. All right.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it will be. I'm super excited for it. Obviously that comes out next Tuesday, season 12. Mad Maggie will release then. We got her. She's obviously the main focus. Then we got obviously Olympus coming back, the 9v9, and then obviously the legend changes and the gun changes. So, well, Tui, super awesome. Thank you for stopping in and chatting with me.
Thanks for having me.
Feel free to stick around if you want to talk about some of the esports stuff. Talk about esports stuff with me in chat, because we're gonna be got some interesting information here about that. So at any rate,
nice.
Chat. Anyway, please go check out Tui_AM. That's TuiAM on Twitch. What is your schedule right now, Tui? Do you have a tentative schedule?
Next week, I'm gonna start Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. Okay.
Yep, during the weeks.
Go check him out on Twitch. He's also on a new social media platform called Hover, Hover. Check him out on Hover as 2EAM1, I believe, right? Number 1.
That's my referral code.
Referral code.
It's just like my username right there on the screen.
Well, if
underscore.
Okay, so his username 2E_AM and his referral code is 2EAM1. So if you want to join Hover, please use that referral code. That would be super helpful. Go check his channel out and subscribe.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, not a problem. Hey, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and joining me on the show tonight.
Thank you, Smash. Appreciate it. I'll be in the stream chatting.
All right, appreciate you, dude.
All right. Yeah, appreciate you too. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
All right, those are your changes coming to Apex. Moving on, we have a topic that has been on my mind for a while, and I've been one to. This is such a. There's so much information around this to form these opinions in a logical way. Esports, gaming is obviously near and dear to me. I grew up with games, playing with my brother, my siblings. Obviously it was an excellent relief while I was in high school and college. And now that I'm not able to play sports as much as I used to as I get older, I still find this as a fun competitive release. And then obviously I can play it with my kids regardless of our ages, that kind of thing. So obviously it's near and dear to my heart. It's near and dear to your heart. That's obviously why you're here. So this is a topic that is very sensitive. Esports. Is esports good or bad for gaming? And when I say gaming, I don't mean is esports like fun. I mean, is esports good for the gaming industry? Let's rewind here. Let's rewind 10 years ago. What were we doing 10 years ago in gaming? We were taking our console over to our friend's house. For those who did have high-speed cable internet, yes, we were playing some online gaming. Let's even rewind 15 years ago, right? Taking our console over, sitting down, our friends coming over to our house, sitting on the couch, popping in some pizza rolls, and everyone sitting down and playing some fun games. And not everyone played the game 24/7, right? Well, esports has really opened up a new realm of possibilities to gamers to make it a career. And everyone looks up to these idols, and now everyone wants to be, because since gaming is so accessible and all these kids, younger people love it, they look at these people. I can make a living doing that and playing this game if I get really good? So obviously in some aspects it's been good that way. It has opened avenues, opened doors to a new industry for young people who, maybe these young people were not physically suitable for football. To play football and be competitive, you have to be a very large, strong individual. But gaming is accessible to anyone. Gaming is accessible to people with different abilities and strengths and weaknesses and physical abilities and things like that. I mean, really an awesome competitive area for that. But what I really want to dive into is the gaming. So esports really started out with the RTS. Okay, the real-time strategies, StarCraft and things like that. So that was a really kind of a niche market, and most of the gaming was still things like first-person games. Okay, everything from first-person shooters, which were not necessarily multiplayer, but they were side scrollers and a handful of things like that. But top-down sims and things like that. But games were really, really well developed. Took years for a game to come out. They were content rich, and companies produced a game that was a complete product, right? Did you see Boston Scott, NFL running back, made it to the Rocket League pro team? No, I did not. That is insane. How do you go pro in two different sports? But yeah, so here's one of the things. I'm going to come at this. I'm going to let you know. Ooh, I just started layering up. There we go. There are two different things happening here. The indie gaming was huge before esports. But now the esports and all the money is in esports, the competitive play. Let's look at some of the competitive play stuff. We have basically looking at my notes here. Team Fortress 2, FIFA, right? Were some of them. Fortnite was a international hit. The MOBAs, the battle royales. So let's talk about MOBAs and battle royales. MOBAs and battle royales are saturating the market, and everyone wants to get into those because it's as long as you can get those into the esports, you get to see more competitive players who are streamers, your professionals, your big names playing those competitive games because they love those competitive games, right? And it draws in crowds. When it draws in viewership and crowds, it draws in advertisers. When it draws in advertisers, then they pay other developers. Look, we need more content for these MOBAs and these battle royales. And what that does is that draws resources away from indie games, creative games, complete games. Let's take a look at Halo. Okay. Halo 3 came out, 14 years ago? 14 years ago. And it had more content than Halo Infinite. We had games 14 years ago that had more content than the games coming out now. Why is that? Because I think that's drawing resources. I think this competitive esports realm, which again is almost the majority of by the way, the esports realm, esports games is a fraction of the gaming industry, but it's sucking up the majority of the resources. So that's really interesting. Not to mention, how do you, once you have a competitive game and you have this massive number of people playing your game, let's take Fortnite and League of Legends, some of the two biggest battle royales and MOBA relatively in the industry. Let's take a look at what these games have done. They've implemented stuff like loot boxes, okay? Because you have this massive industry and they're free games. They decided to do this whole games as a service idea and then incorporate loot boxes. Then when loot boxes became this kind of shunned thing in the industry and illegal in some countries, they moved over to this, well, we're not going to give you loot boxes where it's like gambling. We're going to give you season passes, right? So these games as a service plus season passes to do microtransactions. Do you know in the past 3 years, these gaming industries have more than 12 times their revenue that they had 3 years ago. I will look up that statistic again for you. I know I had it, and I wanted to keep that for you. But 12 times the revenue in these esports games like Fortnite and things like that. There is such a financial draw to bring people into. Tears. I loved watching your stream. I was trying to study at the same time, by the way. So let me, I'd love to play some games with you, by the way. But yeah, 12 times the revenue. And they made it awful grindy. They have children all the way up to adults paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for a game when you and I used to pay $50 or $60 for a game. And in some cases less, right? When we got it on sale, but we'd pay for a full game. Now we get a partial game. Now we get a partial competitive game, and they're doing what I call the game drip. They're these game developers are okay with putting out an unfinished product because they know that they're giving it to you we're giving it to you for free or for really cheap, right? You can't complain about a game that's really cheap or free, right? And then what they do is they drip feed you. And they've been working with sociologists and psychologists to develop games that are super addicting. Okay, things like daily challenges. You got to come back if you want your daily challenge. You want that thing in the battle pass. You want to get this skin. You want to get that cosmetic or whatever it might be. Then you have to come back, and you don't want it to be a super long grind. You got to come back for our daily challenges, which gives you additional push, additional bonuses. Again, this obviously the root cause of this might be financial means, but what really is the stem or what is the catalyst of this financial upheaval in the gaming industry, I believe it's esports. If you would have asked me 3 years ago, was esports bad for gaming? I would have said no. I said, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Esports is the best thing that's ever happened to gaming. It gives people so much more opportunity, regardless of age, sex, your ethnicity, where you live, where you're from, your background, your physical abilities, your mental, all of it gives people ability to be on this fun competitive environment. And now I feel like esports is the marvel of the gaming industry, where Marvel soaks up all of the creative talent and these really authentic finished products in movies. We don't have Citizen Kane's anymore. We don't have The Godfather anymore coming out in movies because of Marvel. Okay. We don't have Princess Bride and these fun movies that families loved. Now we have Marvel Studios movie number 1, Marvel Studios movie number 2. Just go ahead and paste a new superhero on it, whether it be Iron Man, Captain America. Just put a stamp on it. Oh, did you see the new Captain America movie? I don't know. It was like the last 20 Marvel movies. We're doing the same thing now because of esports. Esports is driving people towards these competitive first-person battle royales and MOBAs, and they're soaking up the industry. So that is a big long rant for my take on this. Is I think esports is a long-term loss for the gaming industry, for most gamers, for casual gamers. It is a huge win for your upper echelon elites, your pro gamers, your Dr. Disrespects, he who shall not be named on Twitch, your Tifus, your Ninjas, your, Tim the Tatmans, your Nick Mercs, and all the rest of these guys, right? All these big time gamers, Shrouds. Competitive gaming is for them. Enoch and stuff like that. Because you want to see these top tier gamers in competitive play, and they get to play 10, 12 hours a day that is their job. They don't have to go to a job. They don't have to work anywhere else. Casual gamers trying to get into the industry who are only able to play a couple hours a day, a couple hours a week, right? As we lose time. And what areas of the gaming industry do we have to go anymore if all the resources are getting soaked into competitive games, and we don't have awesome developed games like we used to have? Can we think of any really awesome, well-developed AAA games coming out? Cyberpunk was supposed to be that thing, and Cyberpunk fell flat on its face. And they've improved it over time, but really, are we coming out with...
Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Daddy? Sorry. I'm sorry.
I can't help it. I have that. It just, sex appeal just oozes out of me. So I just don't think we're going to be seeing, until esports takes a chill. And I don't think it will. I think it's so money driven. And I think so many young people are drawn to the esports games and the esports industry, and even the slightest scent of the idea of someday I could be a pro gamer and make millions of dollars like these 0.001% of the people playing games. I could be just like them. I think it really detracts from the gaming industry as a whole. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. I'd love to see what chat thinks about esports. And not that you love some of the games that are in esports. I would love to hear your thoughts on, was this a net positive for the gaming industry as a whole? Think of all games across all genres, across all generations of people playing games, and across all platforms. Is it a net positive or net negative? I think we're starting to see a net negative because of esports. And maybe we're going to have to really reel in esports and really reel in companies to say, look, we as a community, we as a gaming consumer, we want better AAA games that aren't constantly games that are super competitive games that are trying to eke every last dollar out of us with battle passes and loot boxes and all sorts of other stuff. We want good content that when we buy it, we can play the whole thing through and we can enjoy it and we can reminisce about it years later. That's what I think we want. how much of esports is now part of the gaming community. I'll read a couple of which one am I supposed to be reading? Do you think COVID possibly pushed the thank you. Do you think COVID possibly pushed the effect from esports in the gaming industry to an extreme? Certainly into Twitch. Certainly everyone with a webcam. Yeah, we talked about this today, right? Everyone being pushed at home. What were they going to do? They ran to gaming. Certainly that was a catalyst. No doubt about it. Obviously we can't change COVID, right? And long term, we're gonna have to hold game developers accountable for the games they put out. It's kind of like this. Microsoft. So I'm in IT. Many of you know I'm in IT. Microsoft puts out very average quality operating system with very average quality products. Microsoft Office. There's no competitor, because if any competitor comes out, they buy it up, right? They're a monopoly. But they put out very average products, and we just go along. We continue to buy Windows, very likely because there's no other opportunity, no other options. Mac. But for the most part, Windows kind of controls the industry and buys who they want to buy and not who crushes smaller companies. But we as a consumer, especially IT people, we continue to like, well, I know Microsoft put out a crappy product, but it's better than the alternative. No, we should hold people accountable. Same thing in the gaming industry. We need to hold these companies accountable for putting out crap, putting out stuff that's trying to eke every red cent out of us, maximize profit and not maximize game experience. And yes, COVID, I think, was a catalyst. Was it the reason for it? No, I think gaming industries, had esports not been as big as it was and competitive as it was and not pushed as hard as it was, I think it would have actually stemmed and put money into really good quality AAA games. And I think in the next couple of years, we would have had all these indie companies making amazing content. And yeah, how much of esports is now part of the gaming community? Like percentage wise, Steel, is that what you're thinking? Well, even people came to Twitch like the WWE stuff. Yeah, Battlefield 2042. Such a terrible release. Just try to get it out there. Get it out there while they can squeeze money out of you. What percentage of the gaming community is esports? I bet you. Now this is anecdotal. Don't quote me on it. I bet you esports is only about anywhere from 7 to 10% of the gaming industry. But I believe it probably soaks up the revenue plus the labels and the developers that want to get their game into esports. Look at Epic. What is Epic putting out? When you say Epic, what do you think? Fortnite. Fortnite is Epic. They have a bunch of other stuff, but all of their talent and all of their money and everything is thrown into Fortnite, and everything else is just, well, let's see if we can get the rest of the industry. I bet you the majority of the revenue comes from esports related games, and the majority of money spent on gaming and developing is an esports developed game. The player base is smaller, but the revenue is all that. Like I said, it's like Marvel. All the money is soaked up by Marvel, even though Marvel only makes up, 10% of the movies that come out every year. They soak up 80% of the finances that are allocated towards movies and movie studios. People want a sure thing. And right now the sure thing is esports games, battle royales, and MOBAs. Did you see WWE wrestlers weren't able to work, so they started doing just chatting, so the WWE management came and took all their funds away? Ooh, that'd be an interesting topic. Steel, why don't we have a topic on that one of these times very soon? Let's discuss the ramifications of being sponsored. Obviously, their personas are owned by WWE, right? They are employees of WWE, and basically their likeness, they're using the WWE persona or likeness as their own financial gain. That is an interesting topic. Let's talk about that sometime. Yeah, Steel, maybe I wouldn't mind having you on next next show, and let's talk about something like that. Let's come up with the talk. All right, the final topic for tonight: games you should be playing. Okay, and this is actually in reference to, as I open up a browser here real quick, games you should be playing. And all of us want to grow on Twitch, right? We all want to grow on Twitch, and we all want to grow a community, and we all want to engage with our community more. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to put together a couple of ideas I have, and then give you some ideas for games that I think that would be really good for this. One, start niching down your niching down your game style. Find niche games that you like, but that are not popular. So what I'm saying is, maybe you don't go out and play League of Legends or Grand Theft Auto. Okay, these are outrageously popular games, and you might like that game. You may love Grand Theft Auto, but maybe, just maybe, it's too saturated. So consider niching down a game. Now, that doesn't mean just go find a game that has a niche and start playing it, because it's not going to help your audience if you're not enjoying that game. If you're not truly invested in that game, that doesn't help you either, right? So let's talk about that. Find a niche game that you like that is not necessarily a popular game. Okay, step one. Pummel Party. Yeah, play Pummel Party. Pummel Party is a prime example. Certainly. Couple ways to do this. I'm going to show you a couple websites. Okay. Here, let's do these websites here real quick. This is a website called twitchstrike.com. Some of you are already familiar with this website, but let's just go ahead and take a look at this website, right? This website has changed a little bit here. Let's see. They've redesigned their website since I've seen it here real quick, but let's see what to stream on Twitch, when to stream on Twitch. Okay, so what to stream on Twitch? Let's just go like this. Let's say my viewership is somewhere in the 8. Okay, let's go like this. This is what to stream on Twitch. Creating a report, man. I haven't been to this website in a long time. They used to have just lists and lists of data. Now what they've done is they've had this this report generation thing. It kind of does some analytics on the data for you and a little bit of AI. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, same with me, Tui. I've really, really enjoyed Valheim recently because it is still kind of a exploring survival. It's a little grindy at times. Yeah, Satisfactory. My brother's playing Satisfactory now. He loves it. I think, yeah, the Timberborn. We were talking about that today. Is this going to do anything here? Let's just say we're at 10 viewers. Can we get this link in chat? Absolutely. This is twitchstrike.com. Twitchstrike.com. My goodness, let's go to here. Best webcams. Come on. And I don't know if it's my internet. We're gonna go like this. I wonder if their site's having problems. Yeah. Hold on. Let me put in the other link. Wow. Wow, their site just went down because I was on this earlier today. And I don't think they're blocking me. It's just taking a dump. Let's Google it. So Twitch Strike. Nope, just sitting here spinning. Okay, so what Twitch Strike does, you got yours to load. Is it my network? I mean, I'm streaming just fine. Okay, so what Twitch Strike lets you do is it lets you do analytics on particular games. It has collected how many people are viewing it, how many people are streaming it. It tells you what times they're viewing it, what times they're streaming it. It is a massive collection of data that tells you when people are and are not doing things. So that is a really useful, helpful tool for basically breaking down if a game is a viable game to be playing. So right now, we're not talking about group games and engagement. We're actually, right now, we're just talking about discoverability, because the biggest problem with Twitch is it is not a discoverable platform. It is far from. If you are, and I'll end the conversation with this. If you're just streaming on Twitch, that is like waiting. That's like running out in the field and hoping lightning strikes you. Okay. No, what you got to be doing is you got to be building something. You got to be building something that draws the strikes to you. You got to start building a tower with and a lightning rod and bringing it down to the ground and designing something that attracts lightning. And that starts with building something, right? That starts with content that is there, that's tangible, that you can feel. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So think about it as a lightning rod. Just playing and standing out in the field longer isn't doing it. You got to build something. The other thing we're going to move on, since I can't get this loading, okay, we'll come back to that. Look at the other thing to do is go on to Twitch. Okay. Go on to Twitch. Go into the browse section, all right, and look at some of these games here. And let's check out. Let's sort this by viewers high to low. Okay, this is what we should not be doing. Look, and I'm doing the exact opposite of what I'm trying to show you to do. Just chatting, 421,000 viewers, right? In fact, let's see who the highest viewership is. 13,000 people, and it's some at 1G. Okay, next up is 13,000, 6,000. Let's see, viewers high to low. Okay, I'm sorry. Casimiro, he's Portuguese, Spanish, English. Let's go and we'll talk about languages here soon. Spanish, English. The first one is streamers, foolish gamers. Don't even know what that is. Okay. Once we get down to English here, your age gaming. See, look at all these. Okay, now Summit 1G is another English, and we'll talk about language and why language is important first. Interestingly enough, a massive streaming community in Spanish. Very interesting. I know they have a huge population. Obviously, Sweet Tales is up there, but look at let's just scroll down this page. We're still in the hundreds, right? We're still in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. 600 people, 650. How do you get into this realm? How do you become discoverable in this? Especially if you're a small streamer. There is no growth here, okay? I do it because I love it. But let's go back. And we're starting by view count high to low. Now look at some other games you don't want to be playing. You don't want to be playing League of Legends, Dying Light. You don't want to be playing these. These are fun games. Rust, Valorant. I mean, I love this game. I love Apex. I play Apex. I stream it. Let's take a look at Apex real quick. Sort again by high to low views. We have Nick Merckx. We have Imperial Hal, Diego Soros, right? These are not people that we're going to be able to compete against. Look at these thousands of people. The likelihood of someone finding you and rating you, let me come down to here, where I typically, under 10 viewers, right? Man, I keep scrolling. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look how much I've scrolled. I'm still not down to like under 10 viewers. So again, don't stream these. You're too far down the list. Let's go back to scrolling down and let's start talking about maybe, okay, let's check out Genshin Impact. Let's see what that's like. 122 viewers, all right, is the top viewer. Oh, let's scroll up actually. 8K, 3K, 2K, 900. What you want to find is you want to find a group that is in the hundreds. If you want to find something that is the next digit up, okay? So if you're in the single digits, you want to find the top game that has double digits, okay? So like if you're at 5 viewers, go find something that has, a game that the top game is like 60, 70, 80, 90 viewers, okay? Maybe in the low hundreds. Don't play games that has people in the thousands, okay? So maybe not a good game for you like this, all right? Unless it drops off quick, right? Unless it drops off from like 1,000 and the next group is like 20 people, right? You want to find this top row where it's something achievable for you. Let's go back. Let's go down to, let's see, Halo Infinite, maybe Among Us, Final Fantasy. What is this like? 103. Okay, now this is doable. Okay, this is doable. We got 1K, 800. This is more like it. One of the things you want to do, though, is you want to find the next person in line. See how you go from 2,000 to less than 1,000. Less than 875 down to 344, down to 280. Look at these percentages. You'll notice number 1 to number 2, less than half the viewers. Number 2 to number 3, less than half the viewers. Number 3 to number 4, a little more than half the viewers. But you drop off very quickly. You are going to have a much better time being found in this area than any other area, okay? And this is how you can grow. Left 4 Dead, all right? Red Dead Redemption 2. Look at these fall-offs. Look how quickly they fall off. You want them to fall off quickly so that people who love this game, because here's what's happening, right? You have this person, this is a little high, okay? But you have let's say this person right here, he's live, 1.3. This is Traficante 97. By the way, look at the languages. Now let's sort out languages. Ready for this? This is where I talked about languages. Let's do English. Boom. Look at how this viewership falls off very fast. You have the possibility of being discovered, especially if you have developed your channel, your persona, you're talking, you're fluid, you're energetic, you're basically entertaining, okay? If you've developed your entertainment factor. This person is done viewing. 409 people have to go somewhere. If they love this game, 409 people have to go somewhere. They're not going to go watch the German channel. Unlikely, right? Yes, you get a lot more new followers when you stream a game that isn't oversaturated, right? That doesn't have a massive set of streamers, right? So this in tandem with Twitch Strike is an awesome utility. So I would be playing right now Red Dead Redemption 2. That's a game I can get along. I enjoy it. But look at this. Look how quickly you can be discovered here. Like I said, most of these people aren't playing with a camera, right? Or most of these players might not have special features where you do special events or special, things like that. Come up with a good title. Okay, look at some of these. Senior Deputy McGregor, Wild RP, whatever that means. F the police coming, whatever that means. I don't even know. Okay, but come up with a first playthrough. Okay, hey, look. First playthrough, let's go check her out kind of thing, right? Well, that's interesting. This is her first playthrough. Let's go find out. She's got a cool hat on. She's really getting into the game. I like that idea. You can really, really set yourself apart in a game realm like this. So I highly recommend finding something like this. Again, we want high viewership, okay? And it's an equation. High viewership, low streamer rate. You want the viewership rate from the number 1 streamer to the number 2 streamer to number 3. You want that to fall off quickly. You don't want it to be 400 viewers, 350, 340, so you don't want it to be like slow increments between number 1 and number 10. You want it to be hard fall off. You want it to be big number, half that number. You really want it to fall off quick, the viewership, when you go down the ranks of the number 1 through number 10 viewers. I hope that makes sense. So this is one I would definitely be playing right now. Look at Hunt Showdown. Okay, let's look at Hunt Showdown. This is a very competitive game. My gosh. Oh my goodness. Would I ever be playing this game? This is a game that now this is a high skill level game, so you do have to find a game that you would enjoy playing, that it wouldn't be, viewers can quickly know if you are not enjoying the game. So you got to find a game that is in this list. But look at this. This is English here. 750, 419, 122, 70. Look at how these fall off so quickly. Down into 18, third row, 18 people. You can grow so well at this. Yeah, I think we should be trying this, Tui. I'm telling you, this formula, I have looked at this formula. I have been telling myself this for 6 months, and part of my problem has been, and I hate to tell anyone my woes, but part of my problem is I have been more focused on my work and study and family than growing this, and probably rightfully so. My priorities should need to be in the right place. But if I want to grow, I really need to be take my own advice 6 months ago, which was this: be playing games like this. Thought Criminal, welcome in. We are talking about games to play. So anyway, these are the metrics that you need to be looking at when choosing a game to play. I don't think Twitch Strike ever loaded for me right here. Let me do this one more time. I just want to show this real quick. Let's go like this. This is okay. This one has been a crapshoot for me for some reason. This is not working for me. Not a big deal. Go to twitchstrike.com if you want to look at really deep analytics of and generating reports for games that you should be playing based upon your viewership. Okay, games you should be playing based on the time that you play. I play typically from 8:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. ish Eastern. Right, here are the games that you should be playing at that time. Okay. Here's the type of viewers you have. So there's a whole bunch of analytics. This is super cool for generating reports. Don't get overloaded by it. It's going to be confusing at first. Take your time, read the data, analyze it, do some testing, test the waters kind of thing, and do this right here in tandem with going into Twitch and actually looking at the viewership yourself. Are there massive drop-offs in viewerships from number one? This guy's 750 people are going to have to go somewhere sometime if they truly love the game. Now, maybe they're just part of his community. Maybe they just love him. But maybe they love the game. And maybe they'll love jumping into somebody down here and said, look at this young lady. Okay, 20 viewers. Does anyone feel like a bump on the something? Okay. Maybe they'll go try and check her out. Maybe they might like her. New chatters in there. Engage them. This is where now you need to be prepared for people coming into your channel, and you need to be prepared to be energetic. You need to be prepared to welcome them in, to teach them about your community. Obviously, you've seen what I do. I run a show. I do TikTok content. I have 3D printing in the background. So I'm doing a variety of stuff to try to engage as many people as possible. Did I type a game in? Yes, you check what games at that time. Exactly. Again, that Twitch Strike can be a little confusing at first. Oh, here, it finally did something for me. Dying Light. Here's where I would be in the realm here. Here's where I would fit in. Here's where I would fit in. NHL 22. It Takes Two. Here's where I'd fit in. Based on my numbers right now. Okay. Terraria. Ooh, that sounds kind of fun. Anyway, this is a really interesting way, but maybe this isn't the numbers I want to get into. Maybe it is. I don't know. Right? Maybe this is the numbers I want to get. Look how quickly this falls off. 2,300 people. Boom, boom, boom. It falls off very quickly. Right? So at any rate, it does need to be a sustainable game, something you can grow and sustain with. So make sure the game matches you, your personality, and the game's sustainable. All right, that's enough about growing on Twitch. Can you trust the data though? Yes, this is very accurate data. This is very interesting stuff. Thought Criminal, go check this out. I promise you that this will be a helpful set of analytics for you and helpful metrics. Trust me. By the way, I put in the viewer count here as 10 viewers. Let's say I expected 10 viewers. All right. Well, now let's talk about games you should be playing to engage your community now, right? If you're a variety streamer, right, you're going to want to have community nights. You're going to want to have group game nights. I have compiled for you 5 games that I think are totally awesome, that I think are currently relevant for group games that are fun and engaging for a large group of people, okay? Number 1, and this is not in a particular order, but the first game on the list, Scribble.io. If you're not playing Scribble.io, check out Scribble.io. There we go. Scribble.io is a fun word game with a large number of players that everyone can join in. You give them the room code. They all join in, and you're given a person's given a word, kind of like a Pictionary kind of thing. You're given a word, and you have to draw it, and then the other people have to guess it. And then each person gets a turn. Very similar to Pictionary. Scribble.io, super awesome game. Excuse me. Super awesome game for engagement. The next one is, and some people have not heard about this yet, but Brofall. If you've not heard of Brofall on Steam, okay, Brofall on Steam is the free, by the way, all these games are free. You don't have to pay a dime for these. People that you play with in your community don't have to pay for these. One of the biggest barriers to entry is getting games that are too high a skill level. So when I tried to do community nights, and this was a poor decision, but when I tried to do community nights with people for playing Apex, that is a huge skill gap for someone who's been playing for a year or year and a half. For people that are just starting out, they just want to play, come in there and have fun, right? This is a game with a much lower skill gap, and it's basically Fall Guys, but it's free. Brofall, check out Brofall. Here, look at this. Does this not look like Fall Guys? Right? It's 100% Fall Guys. It's got great physics generation. It's hilarious. You can play with as many people as you want. I can't remember what the limit is, but it's, I mean, for a channel of my size and several others of you in here that are streamers, you're probably not going to max this out anytime soon, right? But anyway, this is totally fun. And it's basically Fall Guys. It just got hit by blades. They're fruit and vegetables. They just got hit by blades. Anyway, this looks fun. This is going to be one of the next things we play. Can we please run this? No, we're going to run this probably next week. We're going to run this next week. So awesome game. That is the second one on my list. This is free on Steam, free to play. Look at that right there. Boom, free to play. The next one that I think is super awesome is Krunker.io. Take a look at Krunker.io. Krunker.io is a kind of a first-person shooter meets Minecraft. Look, it is it can get competitive. There is a competitive realm, but the reason I have it on my list is because there's so many interesting game modes. There's like gun games, there's like anti-gravity games, there's like infection where you have to like go infect other people. This is really, really interesting. Krunker.io, if you like first-person shooters and you want to do large custom games with community, check out Krunker.io. It's a Walmart brand Fall. It's if you ordered Fall Guys from Wish. Yeah. Yeah. Brofall is totally if you ordered Fall Guys on Wish. But it's free. It's free. Which is, again, is a barrier to entry. And even Fall Guys is not free, right? That's a barrier to entry. The next on my list is actually a game, another one that's on Steam, is Deceit. Deceit on Steam. This is a really interesting game. This follows along the same lines. Let me give you the synopsis here real quick because I won't be able to do it justice. Test your instincts and trust and deception in an action-filled multiplayer first-person shooter. You wake up in an unknown surroundings to the sounds of the game master unfamiliar voice, surrounded by 5 others. My headset is turned off. Surrounded by 5 others, a third of your group have been infected with the game's master's deadly virus and tasked to taking down the other innocent players. Innocent players must stay alert, traverse 3 zones, and escape through the safety hatches as the infected try to pick you off one by one. Now, this is basically a first-person version of Among Us. Okay.
Is a game of trust and deception. You will either be innocent,
but it's really well developed. Now, what's interesting is
innocent, you need to escape. If you are infected, you need to stop innocent players from escaping.
Very violent game.
Here's the cat.
It's like Dead by Daylight meets Among Us.
Know who is infected. So, who can you trust? Well, only by talking to others and watching their actions can you begin to figure it out. One of the best ways of identifying infected players is by keeping an eye on blood bags dotted around the maps. If you notice one is consumed, there's probably an infected player nearby.
All right.
As an infected player,
So
you will want to collect these blood bags to fill your blood bar. When the lights eventually go out, as long as your blood bar is full, you can transform into your terror form. Transforming gives you the ability to see in the dark and execute innocents. This is the blackout period, the time when infected players are in their element.
This is a great game. This is a game for adults, by the way.
So much
I should have said that.
to find fuses and place them in the fuse box so the lights turn back on soon. Once the lights are back on, you can progress to the next stage and one step closer to escaping. If a player runs out of health, they will be down. If a player is down, the other players have a chance to determine their fate. Attacking the downed player will cast your vote against them.
Oh,
Keep you on your toes. Levers will be randomly dodged.
so at any rate, this is a really sweet game. Yeah, I think that this is a fantastic social experiment game that's also first-person shooter, that's also a little bit Dead by Daylight. I think this is going to be a super cool game to run. And it's, again, this is free on Steam, free to play. The only thing it has is like these packs, right? The spider pack, the vampire pack, the wolf, the werewolf pack. Again, cosmetic stuff. The last game on the list is Transform Mice. Transform Mice. Okay, here's Transform Mice. Transform Mice is basically it's a multiplayer platformer. It's a multiplayer, basically online platformer. You have a couple to a dozen mice. I think you can run up to like a dozen people. And what you do is the point of the game is to get the cheese. Okay, so it's a platformer and you have to use physics and different elements in the map, in the puzzle, to solve the puzzle to get over to the cheese. Okay, sometimes it's a lever, sometimes you have to fling somebody, sometimes you have to build something, and you have to like counterweight it, and you have to use balloons and all sorts of other stuff. And let's take a look at this one here real quick. So now, obviously, look at the physics. Too many people got on this and it broke it, right? They got to get up this little triangular thing. How do they do that and properly get over? But the point is, for you guys win when you guys get the cheese. So now you got to use this like lever to get more of the guys over here. So you got to work as a team to get everyone the cheese. Okay. So somebody's building these. So here, look, here's a lever that's a balance. They have to balance on. And they obviously fell on that one, but they're using different tools as a group to get the cheese for each other. I'd work hard for the cheese. Have you seen that Dread Hunger Game? I have not, Cryptic. Is it good? Mrs. Smash, would you, hey, chat, if you would play, would you want Mrs. Smash to play this game with us? Maybe Mrs. Smash would play this game with us. I think she would. All right, well, this rounds off my game here. Obviously, you can see the point of this game. You have to use the map and you have to work as a team to get the cheese. So awesome community game. Again, look at this. Totally free on stream. Transform Mice. Zombie horror in the Arctic on like old-timey ships. No kidding. All right, I'll have to check that out. Yeti, let's check that out soon, by the way. All right, so there is my roundup for games, basically things you should be doing, and the analytics you should be looking at, and the games you should be playing, and the tools you need to be looking at, right, for growing a community on stream, playing games on stream. The second is, once you have that community, games that are great engagement games that are free, there's no barrier to entry for any of your community members, regardless of their whether they have the game or not. So right, or they have money to purchase the game or not. Awesome way to get community engaged. The more you do that is engaging, that's open to all your community members, the more likelihood you're going to have that you're going to bring them back again and again into your community. Pojak, welcome in. We are just now finishing the show. We just talked about Sony buying Bungie, that mayhem. Like I said, let's do a quick recap. Sony buying Bungie, right? I think that they want to use Bungie to push into the PC realm like Xbox app did. And I also think that they want to use Bungie's IPs and use them to make movies under Sony's movie label, because they're already doing that with their Sony exclusives. Last of Us is coming out on HBO in this year, and Uncharted is I think releasing very, very soon. So you're already seeing games pushed into the movie realm. I think they're buying Bungie for the two-factor push into PC and using their IPs in upcoming movies and using their universes, rights to their universe for gaming and for the universe and characters in that universe. Number 2, Apex changes. We talked about the Apex changes. Mad Maggie coming to season 12. So the season reset's coming here at season 12. We're going to have major changes to the maps, weaponry, handful of changes to characters, current legends, Crypto, Caustic. We think maybe Gibby. We'll see about that. Esports, is it good or bad? We've talked about that. I'm starting to feel, like I said, I would not have said this 3 years ago. I would have defended esports till I was blue in the face. I am now concerned that esports is ruining the gaming industry as a whole, and we're not going to be seeing the same, basically RIP to good quality AAA games from here and to the foreseeable future until we can get esports under wraps. And games to play, we just did a massive list. I'll go that list. A couple of tools. Look up Twitch Strike, twitchstrike.com. Go over to Twitch. Find genres that have, again, here's the equation: high viewers, relatively high viewerships, 2 low amount of streamers that also have a quick fall off after the first couple of streamers, and make sure that you're incorporating language. Take language into account. Filter out the German, filter out the Spanish. If you don't speak those languages, filter those out, right? Because the person at the top who's an English speaker is not going to send somebody over to a German speaker. They might send them over to you if you're close enough to the top. Next, the 5 games that I think are really awesome community engagement games to bring people in. Once you have a community, start bringing them in a little tighter. Scribble.io, Bro Falls, again, the Fall Guys ordered on Wish, Crunker.io, Deceit, and Transformites. That is my list. That is the show for the evening. I want to thank you all for stopping by tonight. I want to give a special thanks out to Tui AM for stopping in and giving his insight. If you get a chance, go over and look for on Twitch, Tui_AM. That's TUI_AM on Twitch. Go give him a follow. Also, he's on Hover. If you're not familiar with Hover, go check out Hover. I am also on Hover, but you'll look up Tui_AM on Hover. You can find him there, and you can see him streaming next week. I think he said Monday through Thursday next week he'll be streaming. So go give him a check out. So I appreciate him coming on the show and giving me his thoughts, taking time out of his day. At any rate, let's go find someone that we would like to raid tonight. Let's go see who is on Twitch. What kind of game are we thinking? Why don't we... Heck, we were just talking about Hunt Showdown. Do you guys want to check out Hunt Showdown? Let's see who we got on Hunt Showdown real quick. Let's raid somebody that's a little bit smaller. Maybe not too small, but a little bit smaller. I cannot see these people. Oh my goodness, King Iden with the raid. Oh my gosh. Well, King Iden, thank you so much for helping me. King Iden, what were you just playing there, friend? For some reason, it did not tell me what you were just playing. Dead by Daylight. That's awesome. King Iden, thank you so much for the raid. May I please apologize to you and your viewers that we are just now ending the show. We are just getting ready to raid. If you are coming over from King Iden's stream, thank you so much. Give you a quick rundown. Every other Thursday about my channel, I stream Tuesday and Thursday. We play games. We play a variety of games, first-person shooters, battle royales, and sometimes we throw in some group games and things like that. But twice a month, every other Thursday, I run this talk show, this podcast, where we talk about all the news and game and information that you need about the gaming industry and the streaming industry. And I give you my thoughts, opinions, and even tips and tricks about the industry. So if you're interested in that, give this channel a follow. I'd really appreciate it. I think you'd enjoy these talk show podcasts. King Aiden and your community, thank you so much for entrusting me. I always hate to do this. I always hate to pass off. It is that time for me to end the show, though. It's been an hour and a half on the show. Again, I would love to meet your community. Feel free to hit up the Discord and the other socials, and I'll jump in your Discord and socials as well. Again, so very apologetic to, I hate doing a raid push, but I have to. It is the end of the show. Obviously, you can see our topics up there. We had some really interesting topics tonight, which were Sony buys Bungie. We had Apex changes. We had, is esports bad or good for the gaming industry? And games that you should be thinking about playing to grow and to engage your community. So at any rate, love you all. Thank you so much. We're actually going to raid out a game that we were talking about today, which really, I think, is a great game for streamers to be playing right now based upon its viewership to number of streamers. What we do have to do, though, is we have to pick someone that we'd like to raid tonight. Let's go ahead and raid this gentleman. Just punch the horse. Frack Attack. Let's go raid Frack Attack. How's that sound? Brofall streams? Yeah, dude, we're going to play Brofall streams. By the way, chat, we will be announcing in my Discord, we will be announcing some community games. So if you want to be part of those they're free community games. I try not to play games that have a barrier to entry, like you have to be really experienced or you have to pay for the games. But let's go ahead and raid this gentleman right here. Frack Attack. Audiences intended for mature audiences. Now, what I always like to preface, I try to run as clean a stream as possible with as few language issues as possible. I try to have reasonable language on here, reasonable content. We make a few, adult jokes now and again, goofing around, but for the most part, it's a clean channel. So I'm sending you over this person. I do not know this person. I do not know what their language is like. If that offends you, I do apologize, but I would love to give this guy an opportunity, and let's just go see what he's like. How's that sound? All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. I'll be streaming next Tuesday and next Thursday. And then again, 2 weeks from today will be another podcast where we'll have more topics just like the ones we talked about today. If you'd like to be a part of those, join on in and follow the channel. And until next time, keep calm and game on. Thank you all.